Kia ora guys, and welcome back to Online Story Time. Today I've got a book that I know Andrew and Alfred are going to absolutely love. It's called My First Book of Fire Trucks. I've read this one, it's quite cute actually. Have you ever heard the loud sirens of the fire trucks speeding by? Have you ever seen all the cars get out of the way so the firefighters can rush to put out the fire? Firefighters save lives, homes, and buildings every day. You might have seen only one or two kinds of fire trucks, but firefighters use many types of vehicles for all different kinds of fires. Look at that one, it's so long. Wow. Long ago, before there were any fire trucks, people passed buckets filled with water from nearby streams to put out fires. This was called a bucket brigade. Wow. Would have taken much longer than the big fire truck hose, hey? Not everybody lived near rivers, lakes, or streams. So people made big tanks they could fill with water. These tanks were pulled to the fires by horses. These fire wagons were the first real fire trucks. Later, people added steam engines to pump out the water from the horse-drawn tank wagons. After motorized vehicles were invented, fire trucks were no longer pulled by horses. These new fire trucks were much faster than horses, which I could imagine. So they'd filled up these big tanks and then connected a hose to it to try and get the fire. And there's the steam ones, so they didn't have to have people, or too many people, to try and get the fires. People in big cities began to build huge water pipes so water could be pumped from under the streets. Then the hoses from the fire trucks were hooked up to the fire hydrants, and so fire hydrants didn't have to carry their own water anymore. Clever. So see these big pipes under the ground? So those pumps link up to something called a fire hydrant, which then the hose gets connected to, and then it pumps water through the hose and up to where they want it. Clever, eh? When people began to build skyscrapers, big ladders were added to the fire trucks. The firefighters were then able to reach the tops of tall buildings. These fire trucks with very long ladders were called hook and ladder trucks. Because you'd hook onto where you need it, and you put the ladder up. And then they can go all the way up to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th story. Wow. Pretty cool, eh? And this had to be a long one because it had to carry this big, long, huge ladder. Today's big fire trucks can carry as many as 12 firefighters at a time. All the different kinds of fire trucks are kept in firehouses. Firefighters have to be ready to use any or all of the trucks when the fire alarm rings. When they have finished putting out a fire, the firefighters check their equipment back at the firehouse. They have to make sure that everything is ready for the next fire. So true. So they call it firehouse. We call it, I guess it's called both firehouse and fire stations. The pumper truck has lots of different sized hoses and nozzles. It also has tanks full of water. When a fire is blazing, firefighters can start to put it out right away with water from the pumper truck. Other firefighters can help them by pumping water from the fire hydrants. Clever.